there's no limitation for me, like for my agency as a startup, as a production, because we're very, very young. We just no fear of like trying something that's maybe client, the worst result, the bad result can be, we don't like it.
Hi everyone, this is Alex York. I am here with Valerie Zhang, the co-founder of VX Media. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Great. I'm like so excited. This is literally my first time having an interview with Forbes, and then I was kind of like a little nervous because, you know, I'm a foreigner, and then today we're going to talk about my journey. And I'm not really have a lot of chances to share the story with people who know me.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of excited.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to hear about everything. You've had like so many different lives, I feel like, in your less than 30 years on Earth. So before we get into like everything, give me like a 30-second rundown of who you are.
Oh, wow. This feels like a job interview.
No, it can be chill.
I'm kidding. So hi, everyone. My name is Valerie. I'm like a co-founder of VX Media, and also I'm the creative director. So I also known as Wells Look as a creator. I post a lot on Instagram, TikTok. So I founded the agency with my partner Xavier 3 years ago. So everything goes pretty well, and I'm so happy to be here and to talk about my journey.
Yeah, it's a super cool company you have. You made the marketing and advertising list this year for your work in, you know, many different kind of sectors of that space. But before we talk about what you are building with VX Media, I want to like go back in time a little bit to talk about like you growing up and kind of like discover how you got to this place today. So can you give me a little bit of information about like where you're from, what you did growing up, like what your interests were that kind of led to this today?
Yeah, so I'm from China. I moved to US 8 years ago for school. So I have my undergrad in mathematics and economics from Wisconsin-Madison. And at that time, my dream was, you know, doing something about data science, which is I did. And I moved to New York because my graduate school, NYU. So I did data science as my, graduate program. And then I started to do my work as a data scientist. That was the first year of pandemic. It was so painful because I really want to meet people, but everybody worked remotely. But that's a chance for some people. You have interest and you have some extra time, and then that developed my interest of like doing fun content. I have never ever, have like a thought about like I can do something creative. And two, there was a day I posted a video on Instagram, like reel, and it's like going so well. It like just went viral right away. I was like, seriously?
What type of video was it?
It's just like an outfit video. So a fun fact about me, I really enjoy spending money on outfit. So even as a data scientist, I think that's a stereotype. Like people being like data scientist or like software engineer, they really not necessary to be dressed up, or they don't want to be spending so much money on that. And I really enjoy buying stuff. And then my friends around me, they were like, you should start your own social, just post your outfit to give inspiration for software engineers or data scientists. And then I started, and just like that's why I have my own social and started to do video. And at a day, there was a day, so me and Xavier, literally like my partner, so we are driving to New York, and he asked, maybe we should start an agency since you really enjoy doing this. And also not many agency trying to do something like creative and talent management and just like a full service. And I was thinking is, okay, I didn't really think about, okay, let's do it, because my self-identification at the time was still like data scientist. And I don't know, like the business thing can go as well. And also it's very struggled as a foreigner because we have lots of things we need to consider, like visa problem. Because I was on the work visa. So visa problem. Also, you have a feeling like if I not make it good, well, my family being disappointed. So a lot of like potential factors really make me feel so hesitant about it. But like, I think I really appreciate how my partner being like, let's do it. And then we started the agency together, and then I quit my job. I was literally cried like a few days because that was the thing I really chasing for, just being a data scientist, and then started to do my own creative, and which just means no one can help me. I have no support, and everything I can have, it must be on my own.
Yeah.
So that's quite fun. And
Was it like an identity crisis that made you, cry for those days? Were you scared? Like, what was going through your mind?
So all my past study career, study part is about mathematics, data, like everything about technology, and that was the path I set for myself. So I was thinking, okay, start as a data scientist and then maybe data engineer, and little by little, I can maybe step as a manager or something.
Yeah.
And never think about I should start a business and then everything just on my own, because you have no support after that. If you work in a big corporate as a, you have coworkers,
right.
you have someone, but you are not the decision maker, so it's fine. And then that was the part I'm not really sure, because I don't have lots of experience on that. I'm not even a business student. So
did you, when you were growing up, was there like an interest that you had in the creative things, in entrepreneurship, or was it something that you totally stumbled into?
Yeah, I think that's a reason why I feel I really want to do this, because I do have lots of interest on doing something like creative. So for example, when I was in high school, I was thinking I want to learn communication as my major when I go to college. Like I love music production. I want to do lots of like music editing stuff. But like in my logic, I feel I need a skill.
Yeah.
I feel creative is not a skill. It's more like, how to say, like a vision. Also, it's like combined with feeling experience. But as a foreigner or international student, we tend to have a skill to make sure we can survive in the US. And that's why I didn't really go to that direction. But after I graduate and then started to work, and I realized I want to do something just make myself feel fun. Yeah. But I mean, and I'm saying I don't like data. I still feel it's quite cool because you have the truth and the false right away. But I feel like having a little bit sometimes like just don't even think about it, just feel it. It's kind of cool.
And you still do use data in your day-to-day, but I totally understand what you're saying about feeling like you need a skill. And I think about this all the time. Like, is like leadership a skill, or is it like something that you just have to exemplify? Or like, are things like being you are a great video editor, but like you said, the vision is different than like putting it then into cutting it and things like that. So what do you think are the skills that you then have to use today? Are they skills, or are they just like how you are, like your vision and like coming up with it in different ways? Or what do you feel like the skills are that you have to like actually put into work?
That's a very interesting question. I feel right now my skills are saying like I know how to direct the video production. That's the skill. That's a solid thing that you need to know what is the shots and then like medium or wide or how's the lighting setting.
Right.
That's the skill. But saying creative, I believe that's more like an experience and feeling combination. Because sometimes like people choose different director. It's not because someone knows the camera better. It's because they have a vision.
Yeah.
They have a particular, like they're good at a thing, like that only they can do it. So that's more like a feeling. Yeah. I don't think that's like a skill to me.
I totally understand that. And your, social media clips, the campaigns that you work on are very like specific to you. How would you describe your like style to people who have not come across your content yet, or who are just coming across it?
If I say this, I don't know if people be like this girl. I heard of a complimentary from one of my clients. I'm very proud of it. So they say they see my content as a creator textbook because I'm seeking to do something out of nowhere, and not many people doing this. But sometimes I also like doing something trendy. But I think for me, my style is I don't want to repeat. Like also I feel I don't want to be like a traditional influencer, because I don't think I'm like influential, but I want to be a creative content creator, also a creative director.
Right.
So I'm telling you, if we are doing the same thing with me or with a traditional production, I want to show there's a difference, and that's my goal. Because there's no limitation for me, like for my agency as a startup, as a production, because we're very, very young. Like the average age of my agency, like my co-workers are like 25, 26. So like we just no fear of like trying something that's maybe client, the worst result, the bad result can be, we don't like it. Can you do something new or again? That's it, right? There's nothing else. So we're really not afraid of that.
Yeah, you look at it like, what's the worst that can happen if we try something new here?
Just do again. That's it.
In your content, a lot of times it's like either, you know, a zoom into a product or flipping the background and keeping the foreground there. Like all these different sorts of like effects and features that you have. How did you come across that style?
You really did some research.
I know. I told you. I love your content. I love what you, especially, you know, when we first like got to know each other, when I was working on the Under 30 list, I felt like it was such a like creative and different way to like show a product maybe, but like you said, not like the traditional influencers of today. You do turn it into like a production of a lot of sorts. So yeah, I'd love to know like how you stumbled into that like editing style.
So it's a day-to-day observation of surroundings. So first of all, my inspiration can come from the content I just, you know, like scrolling from social, and also even sometimes I'm on the subway and I see some like a printed media or maybe just people pass by. I feel, ooh, this can be a cool shot, and then I just take photo or quickly write it down on my notes, and then I have so many different folders as inspiration folders. So I have like folders for skincare, for fashion, and for transition, for angle settings. And then when I started to do like design a campaign, I definitely put up everything I like gather and then watch everything over and to give myself like a you know, inspiration board, like this is the thing you are thinking to put into the future project, and now is the chance. This is how I gather out the inspiration. So it's like everything surrounding me can be something cute, like fun.
I love that. I want to talk to you about like turning those visions that you have into a business that you're building. So you said that, you know, you and your co-founder were just, you know, talking about what you love to do, the content that you love to create, and turning that into a business. But having that idea versus then like putting it into practice is a huge leap. So what were the first couple steps that you had to take to really start building a business for this?
So break down the whole business. You need to think about, first of all, the money part, also the labor part, and also the business, like how can you get opportunities. So from the first money part, because it's a service-based company, so we don't really have lots of fixed costs. So from beginning, we just work remotely because we don't have money to have an office. So that's the beginning. And then for the labor part, it's really fun because we started the agency literally with lots of unpaid interns. I feel bad, but like that's the part. You need to have someone to do this with you. Like if I'm trying to do everything myself today, I don't think VX Media can go that far. So I really appreciate that. And then I have some like interns who's really just want to know how to utilize their skills or utilize their communication, like you know,
and
their
some experience doing
that.
Exactly.
So we started having a few interns, and then started to like understand the industry by talking to different people. But talking to different people really help us to understand a lot.
And who were you talking to in those experiences?
So because I'm a creator, so I have some clients like who work with me because I'm a creator. So I just maybe do like one-on-one meetings, just ask them, so how did you guys do casting, and how a campaign like build it out by the brand? And then after I absorb the knowledge, and from my perspective, if I provide the service, what will be the value add on to they already know something, right? So that's how like I think about like what I can do as a very, very tiny startup. And then little by little, we represent like great talents, creators, and then the relationship grows because the talent can bring us new relationship. And then because the talent, we can also reach out for potential clients. That's how everything like rolling up. And then for production, so we realize like brands try to reach out to creator, to me, to my company about like, do you guys also produce content, but not only like talents? And then we realize like all the production not all the production, like most of the production company, they do traditional like TVC or production, and for social media, not much attention. But how much time people spend on the little screen is literally more than how much time you're watching the TV. That's the opportunity. And also from the data perspective, so I did a little bit analysis from my account. So I do realize like if I have more chances to produce content and go viral, or maybe people see me and my agency, and there's more chances that we can like, have more projects.
Right.
So that's everything just very, gradually happen. So nothing very hard push.
Yeah. Was there though like any client or piece of content or like project that you worked on that you feel like really like skyrocketed you or put you into more people's eyes, or more people wanted to work with you after that?
I don't know if I say this, some of the clients be like, why you don't mention me? But yes, I think there is a turning point.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I think the turning point is we had a chance to work with L'Oreal on their worldwide meeting and some of the creative projects they have. And I think from last year we started to work with so many brands from L'Oreal, and because L'Oreal is such a huge corporation and they have so much like opportunity for like doing something very creative and go beyond, and we started to work with a few brands, and then I think they just try to recommend us to different brands internally, and then things being bigger and bigger, and then we started our Paris location because of the opportunity we gained from L'Oreal, and then we've been selected to Paris Station F. It's a program that the acceleration for startups, and I think that's a very important like turning point for us, because we were very insecure before, because sometimes this month has lots of projects, and this month can be like chill, but we want to see the patterns to be like
trending upwards.
Yes, keep going. And I think that's the turning point. Really make us to feel confident.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that like when you were embarking on this journey in the first place, you wanted to make sure that your like family wasn't disappointed. And then now, as you said, like just feeling a little bit insecure in like what you were building for the first couple of like, months or so.
Yeah.
How did you navigate those feelings that you were having? Because I feel like so many people, so many founders like go through that, where they're like, I have this like idea or vision that I want to, embark on, but I don't want to like either let other people down or let myself down. How did you navigate that?
First of all, I have to say sorry to my mom, because I was thinking she's gonna be so worried, but she's doing so well. I think all the families, first of all, they must be super supportive than whatever is out. So I was thinking maybe because the tuition, everything my like family spent on me is a crazy money for like foreigner international student, because we don't have like in-state out-state tuition difference. So I was guilty. I feel so guilty because the money they spent on me is for the mathematics that I learned, and then I didn't utilize the skills I learned from college, and I feel like bad. But my mom being like, your life is yours. If you decide to do this, it means you definitely do a lot of research and you have a strong, feeling of like, I can make it. And also I believe for my personality, I always say this to my coworkers as well. I believe even I have nothing at all, I go to McDonald's or like somewhere, I believe I can be the best employee of the month. That's the like spirit or a thing for myself. I feel I'm not afraid of being like nothing at all. You just lose everything. And for my family, they feel very surprised because they know I can handle it, but they didn't realize things can go pretty well. And as such like a small startup growing in 3 years, is beyond imagination, is beyond expectation. So right now they are trying to telling me just be easy to myself, be easy to the things we already gain, like don't feel so much like pressure, and try to give yourself some time. And I think that's the lesson I learned from like the family relationship. Just don't overthinking. Like just don't overthink like they will be like, oh, I'm so disappointed. Never.
And I think what you're mentioning there too is like it's really important to like celebrate the small wins along the way as well. So I'd love to know from the past 3 years, have there been any like small things that you feel like really gave you more confidence, or big things that you feel like were like an I made it moment for you and the company?
I think very beginning stage, like the early stage, when we see an email reply, that's a huge celebration.
Yes, someone replied to us.
Like, who are you? Yeah, because they are curious. They want to hear like what you can do, and that's a small celebration for me already. And for I think last year, the little celebration for the team is when we really wrap a project together. Because you have no idea behind of the scene, like how a creative agency work can be a very massive day to day. And I'm not hesitate to sharing this part because like we are new grads. Lots of people from my like agency, they are new grads.
Right.
So they have the knowledge, they have the passion, but they don't have the system how to make it work. So we are exploring together, and when we really wrap up the project, that's a huge finish. And I think for now, if you ask me what will I celebrate for today, I think a solid, healthy project, like a long-term one, can really be something I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So as a 3-year startup, I'm really seeking a client or a relationship that is like be very loyal to each other, that I don't really feel we have a bad like service and then the clients just go. That's the thing we really want to celebrate for. Like we right now have a failed client that we sign for like a year's contract, and when we have that, we feel okay, we can see the next year VX Media is still there.
What does your team look like today? Who is taking charge of like these different portions of the projects and client relations and all these sorts of things that you now have to be in charge of?
So I'm more like taking care of the marketing, creative, and also my co-founder Xavier. He's taking care of all the like legal, finance, business planning, development, and also internal management. I really want to give him a huge credit because so he's like always behind of the camera, and sometimes like just he's kind of shy to talk to people. I'm the co-founder, or like I'm also taking a lot, and I get lots of credit. So like I feel he's so low key.
Yeah.
And also I have a team of like senior leadership. So I have Amy who handle partnership and Ray handle production part. So they are the two directors. And also for finance part, I'm so grateful. So me and Xavier has a friend, Hugo. He literally quit his career as well. He was a software engineer. So he joined the team. He believed me and Xavier can do it well. And he started to learn from nothing as how to handle finance, how to handle accounting, how to handle legal contract. So I'm really lucky to have like people around me. They trust me and they decide to join the team with no hesitation.
How do you decide who's right for your team? Because obviously they have to trust you, but you have to trust them as well. So are there characteristics you're looking for? Or how do you, after an interview, you decide like, yes, we're going to make them an offer?
Alex, all the questions are so spicy. Yeah, I love that. Definitely lots of fights in between. So sometimes we just try to be like, I think my solution is the best. No, just listen to me. So lots of like a discussion and can be like a little bit like fighting, but it's like a cute fighting. But right now we try to be who is the expert based on the certain service, and then they should really give the biggest voice. For example, I won't really try to take over if there is a client coming up saying, do you have a location in Singapore or something, like do you have a business plan in different location, because that's not my expertise. But if there's a client being like, can you give me a very cool ideas of like being what, even Xavier stand up being like, I have an idea. I was like, sorry, that's my area. So I think that's a very healthy ecosystem of like, because we are the one taking care of this part, then I can take suggestions, but the final decision still being made by the certain person who will take care of this.
Do you feel confident making those decisions yourself, or do you ever feel like hesitancy or fear to, finally like put your foot down?
Not really 100% confident of everything we made. So fake it until we make it. Yeah. That's really like the saying. I'm not afraid of saying that. As a startup, you need to do this. You need to believe I can make it. When you advertise yourself, you have no confidence. That's fine. But if you make yourself sounds like you can make it, then you can make it.
Right.
Yeah.
And has that been your approach in getting clients as well, or how do you encourage clients to come work with you?
For clients, we don't really do this because we don't want to, really make the project bad. But that's definitely lots of communication. So maybe lots of like meetings, and we want to show we are really honest and sincerely just approach you because we want to help. And also we believe we can make you feel easier than you're working with yourself. And I think most of the clients, they really feel how honest and how much the attitude we put it there is like very humble.
What has been the biggest difference in working in these international markets? I mean, like you and I were talking about before we started, just like the work year in Europe, they have longer holidays and things like that. But there are so many things like on the granular level and like on the large scale level that I'm sure are very different as you're building a business there, no?
Yeah, you should put yourself in the shoe. So if you work with a client from, for example, Europe, so they really evaluate themselves as work-life balance a lot, and just don't message them, don't email them if they say I'm OOO. But I think for a client in US, we really calculate how much efficiency over everything.
Right.
So we want to make sure on time and also no delay and like responsible and reply the email in a short time. As that's the client from US. We really love that. And from Asia part, I think lots of revisions for sure, because everybody calculates like the efficiency based on the quality, based on how much the impact and the result over the overall experience.
Yeah.
So it's like every different area location have their preference, and then you really need to just quickly transit yourself into a different like settings.
Right.
Yeah.
And does that also impact the types of content you're creating where it is?
Yeah, because the aesthetic can be very different.
Right.
I feel like if you compare with fashion in different places, it's really fun. In New York, people be like very bold. They wear whatever like represent themselves. But I think in Paris, people really love something very clean, very aesthetic. And also in Asia, people, because the visual is different, and I feel people from Asia is more like how to dress up to make themselves look better, to make pretty. So I think that's the difference.
Yeah. Where do you feel like you fall in your like fashion sense, creative sense? Which one do you align with the most?
I think creative.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel right now, because I live in US for 8 years, I think I'm now more into the US fashion aesthetic, like dress up, be like whatever you like.
Yeah.
But for creative, I think everybody want to see something like nobody else doing this. So it's kind of like.
What's been the biggest challenge in building the company?
Definitely the how to make the management part reasonable, because we're so young, and me and Xavier, we don't have lots of experience on doing management. So it's like every single step is a new exploration, and we don't know it's right or wrong until we figure out, okay, something happened, this is wrong. And that's the biggest chance, like even handling like the HR things, or how to hire new people, and how to develop the the work relationship is kind of tough at the beginning. Even now, I don't think I'm like 100% sure we are doing it right.
Yeah.
But great thing is we really want to make it better all the time. And then if there's a thing wrong, we just want to say sorry to the whole like team.
Yeah.
We don't feel, okay, we are the boss, you need to like listen to me, but we want to grow with everybody together.
Yeah, and take accountability and then to foster that environment a little bit. Do you think, because I know that social media is obviously a huge part of what you do personally and what VX does, what's been the biggest change in social media over the past couple of years, and how are you navigating that now moving forward?
I feel social media right now is a great reference for people decide what they do of the day.
Yeah.
Like a very fun conversation I had with my mom. I asked my mom, so how do you choose different restaurants? So my mom being like, oh, it's fun, because like 5 years ago, I would just ask my friend, like, so what is the popular restaurant you just went? And then right now, she's like trying to search online.
Yeah.
So TikTok tell me this is the place I need to go. I think that's the social media, like it's right now part of everybody's life as a reference. And I see social media right now is you need to post something authentic, because whatever you post there, like people will believe in that.
Right.
And also be it's your own product. So how you can be unique is so important. So I feel social media right now is a tool of like living in the city.
Yeah.
It is also a great reference of like what's going on, and to listen to different voices, also fun, because you are not really limited by where you live. You can easily explore the whole world if you just search.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Is there anything that after having these couple years of experience now building this company, finding out these things about, you know, the social media space and just like how you are seeing yourself, you know, thrive in the industry, is there anything you would tell yourself before you started VX that you wish you knew?
This is such a meaningful one. I definitely will tell the me was crying a lot at the time, quit the job, being like, girl, it's fine.
You're gonna be good.
Yeah, don't be afraid, it's fine. Also, if I can write a letter to myself in college, just try yourself to learn the skill of like how to learn things, but don't really focus on the GPA that much, because it's the thing that for international students, like we really care about GPA.
Yeah.
I mean everybody, but like for people from Asia, we really care GPA. If someone has a B, that's like a huge
End of
thing.
the world. Yeah.
How can we have a B? But I really want to tell myself, like, don't focus on the thing you feel important at that time. But you need to think about why you're having this whole experience, why you go to college, because you want to understand how to learn things, but you are not really care about only 1 + 1 = 2 is right.
Right.
So I think I really want to tell myself.
Yeah, I love that. The last question I have for you is, you know, we've talked a lot about like being youthful in this industry and being a young manager and being a young founder, and that's what the whole 30 under 30 list is all about. It's like how young people are coming in and shaping these industries. In your opinion, how does being a young business leader impact you and the work that you're doing right now? Is being young an advantage? Is it a disadvantage, or how does it kind of play into your day-to-day roles and experiences?
I feel I got a lot of advantage because I'm young, and the whole team is young, because creative definitely, like, you need a very active mind for sure. And also it's also a competition of like body and all the physical condition, because sometimes when we work even for production, we probably will start to road everything like very early morning, like 5 a.m. or something, until we wrap up like so late. But if you you know, you're not young, you really feel that's a suffering, like I suffer a lot, but we feel happy about that. Also the disadvantage for sure, because people will look at you be like, so you're so young, you're the founder, then it means your agency is just like no experience. Definitely lots of question about this. I think just it's a balance. And try to utilize the young part, like creative, active, and not fear of like challenges, and to tell the client, if you're looking for something to try or something like you never like think about, then we are the one. But if trying to find a team who guarantee they will provide the service that you're looking for exactly the same as what you did before, maybe not us, because I don't want to overpromise. If they already have a very solid relationship with an agency who do beautiful photos, they just want that. Then don't change. We're very honest.
Totally. But you're coming in with the energy, the youthful energy that a lot of companies need today, I think.
Like I just want to be honest. If you can do it, don't be afraid. Just, you know, advertise yourself. I'm the best for sure. But if this is a thing you're not sure, just don't try.
Be honest about it.
If you're not confident.
But fake it till you make it sometimes too.
Yes. But you need to have a solid research background. Make sure you fake it, but in a reasonable
reasonable capacity. 100%. Well, thank you so much, Valerie. This was so fun to talk about all that you're building.
I love all the questions. Thank you, Alex.
Cool, thanks.
All right. Bye-bye.